In the depths of the forbidden forest, Adaora stumbles upon a mysterious amulet, unknowingly unleashing forces that threaten to unravel her village's very existence. As the threads of fate tighten, join Adaora on a perilous journey where the line between salvation and doom blurs. The ominous allure of the amulet casts a haunting shadow over the once prosperous community, and every step she takes unravels a sinister secret that could plunge them into eternal darkness. In a wealthy and prosperous village, Adaora, an adventurous soul, loves exploring the dense forest that surrounds their community. Intrigued by tales of both incredible good fortune and tragic misfortunes, she embarks on journeys to uncover the mysteries hidden within the ancient woods. One story speaks of Oluchi, a farmer whose once fertile land turned barren due to an ancient curse, while another recounts the prosperity of Ikin, a potter who stumbled upon a hidden spring, bringing forth an abundance of the finest clay. Adaora, fueled by curiosity, decides to explore the forest herself, eager to unveil the secrets that linger between the trees. During one of her explorations, Adaora discovers an intricately crafted amulet hidden amidst the roots of an ancient tree. Fascinated by its enigmatic presence, she carefully retrieves the mysterious charm and decides to wear it around her neck as a curious keepsake. Little does she know that this chance encounter will set in motion a series of unforeseen events that will challenge the harmony of the prosperous village she calls home. Upon returning to the village, Adaora decides to visit some of the locals, including Chavik, the handsome and somewhat reclusive fisherman with whom she harbors a quiet crush. She finds him by the riverside, mending his fishing nets. The sun casts a warm glow on his muscular silhouette as he skillfully repairs the intricate mesh. Adaora, hesitating yet curious, engages in a conversation with Chavik, hoping to discover if the tales of his exceptional fishing luck are as captivating as the stories suggest. In her quest to share her adventures of the forest, Adaora makes her way to the home of an old weaver, Okechukwu, known for his masterful artistry with threads. The weaver's hut is a tapestry of vibrant colors, with finished and unfinished creations adorning the walls. Adaora is greeted by the rhythmic clatter of the loom and the subtle fragrance of dyed fabrics. Okechukwu, with his weathered hands, passionately recounts tales of his family's generational connection to the art of weaving. A day later, Adaora pays a visit to the house of the village's respected medicine woman, Ngozi. The air in Ngozi's dwelling is infused with the scent of herbs and the warmth of flickering candles. As they share stories, Ngozi's voice takes on a somber tone, revealing a harrowing event that unfolded mere days ago. She recounts the tragic tale of the old weaver Okechukwu's daughter, who met her untimely demise by getting entangled in the intricate looms of her father's workshop. Adaora, now captivated and horrified, listens attentively as Ngozi unravels the threads of this haunting story, the echoes of sorrow lingering in the air. Distraught by the heartbreaking revelation, Adaora joins Ngozi as they make their way to Okechukwu's humble abode to offer their condolences and commemorate with him. The village seems to hush in respect as they walk together, the gravity of the recent tragedy casting a shadow over the usually vibrant community. The old weaver's dwelling, adorned with the remnants of his daughter's artistry, becomes a poignant backdrop for shared grief as they attempt to console him in the wake of such a recent and profound loss. Days pass and the village, once a beacon of prosperity, is now shrouded in a series of lesser tragedies. Crops begin to wither, and a mysterious ailment afflicts some of the livestock. Murmurs of misfortune circulate among the villagers, and a sense of unease settles over the once thriving community. The once bustling market square now carries a heavy atmosphere, with worried expressions replacing the usual smiles that adorned the faces of the villagers. A cloud of uncertainty hangs over the prosperous village, and Adaora senses a growing tension in the air as each day unveils a new layer of adversity. Days pass, and Adaora becomes increasingly concerned when she realizes that Chavik, the handsome fisherman she admires, has not visited her in a while. With a sense of urgency, she makes her way to the riverside where he resides in his hut. As she approaches, Adaora notices an eerie emptiness, the door slightly ajar, but the interior devoid of Chavik's presence. Perplexed, she inquiries with the neighbors, only to be directed to his last fishing site. To her dismay, Chavik's canoe floats empty on the river, a silent testament to the unexplained absence of the once prosperous fisherman. Concern deepens, and whispers of foreboding events echo through the village. The villagers, growing restless and concerned, start to voice their grievances. Rumors spread like wildfire, and anxious conversations fill the air. The once close-knit community, bound by shared prosperity, is now fractured by the weight of uncertainty and fear. Elders gather in hushed circles, exchanging worried glances as they attempt to make sense of the series of misfortunes that have befallen their once thriving village. The communal spirit that once defined their prosperity is now overshadowed by a pervasive sense of unease, setting the stage for a collective quest for answers and resolution. In response to the escalating concerns, the village elders call for a meeting at the central gathering space, a place where decisions of great importance are traditionally made. The community assembles, their faces etched with worry and anticipation. The chief priest, adorned in ceremonial garments, takes center stage, acknowledging the collective anxiety that has gripped the village. In a solemn tone, he reveals a startling revelation. The cause of the village's misfortunes is traced back to a mysterious amulet that has found its way into their midst. The proclamation sends shockwaves through the assembly, and a hushed murmur ripples through the crowd as the villagers grapple with the realization that a seemingly innocuous object could be responsible for their woes. As word spreads about the chief priest's revelation, a sense of urgency sweeps through the village. The people, fueled by a collective fear, form a determined mob. Armed with torches and an unsettling resolve, they embark on a house-to-house search, seeking the elusive amulet responsible for their suffering. Doors are flung open, and the once peaceful streets transform into a chaotic scene of fervent investigation. The villagers, consumed by a fervor to eradicate the source of their misfortunes, are relentless in their pursuit of the mysterious charm that has cast a dark shadow over their once prosperous lives. Unaware of the unfolding chaos, Adaora steps out of her home, intending to seek solace in the familiar embrace of the forest. However, she is met with an unexpected onslaught as the frenzied mob descends upon her. A stern-faced leader, with conviction etched across his features, proclaims, "We are searching every hut." Before he could continue, his gaze fixes upon the mysterious amulet around Adaora's neck. In an instant, the atmosphere tightens, and a collective gasp reverberates through the crowd. Accusations fly as the villagers point at Adaora, declaring her the cause of their woes. The mob, their faces contorted with a mixture of fear and anger, surrounds her, their intentions clear. She is the supposed witch responsible for the village's torment. The mob, fervent and fueled by collective hysteria, seizes Adaora with an unrelenting grip. Men strong and determined lift her above their heads, shielding her from the grasping hands of the angry horde. The air resonates with a cacophony of accusatory shouts. Burn her! Hang her! Adaora, in a state of shock, is paralyzed by the terror of the unfolding events. As the mob tightens its grip, the atmosphere becomes charged with menace. Even the medicine woman, Ngozi, is seen among the enraged crowd, her earlier camaraderie with Adaora forgotten as she joins the fervor against the perceived source of the village's suffering. The once prosperous community is now consumed by a frenzied demand for retribution. As the mob, voices clamoring for swift justice, drags Adaora through the village, the chaos abruptly halts at the chief priest's residence. The people fall into an uneasy silence as the chief priest raises a commanding finger, demanding order. Recent events have instilled a newfound fear for the gods, and the villagers, reluctantly, grant him their attention. With an air of authority, the chief priest takes Adaora into his obi, a place of sacred deliberation. He listens attentively as she recounts her unwitting discovery of the amulet and the subsequent series of tragic events that unfolded in the village. The chief priest, nodding sagely, acknowledges Adaora's unintentional involvement with the angered spirits tied to the amulet. He assures her that he believes in her innocence. Tears stream down her face as she recounts her inadvertent involvement in the unfolding tragedy. The chief priest, unmoved by her pleas, assures her that the village's fate hinges on the decisions made in the coming ritual, and Adaora, torn between fear and hope, resigns herself to the uncertain path that lies ahead. Addressing the anxious crowd, the chief priest unfolds a narrative that transforms Adaora from a perceived enemy into a crucial instrument of the ancestors' will. He proclaims that the misfortunes that have befallen the village are a manifestation of the ancestors' displeasure with the neglect they've endured during times of prosperity. Adaora, the unwitting bearer of the amulet, is declared the key to the village's redemption. The people, initially consumed by anger, now shift to a fearful reverence as they realize the magnitude of the situation. As Adaora walks home, a protective shield of repentant villagers forms around her, watching her hut until the day of the crucial ritual to appease the ancestors arrives. On the day of the ritual, the village is draped in an air of anticipation and trepidation. The villagers, once driven by anger and fear, now form a cautious congregation around Adaora's hut. The chief priest leads the ceremony, invoking the spirits and beseeching forgiveness for the neglect that had befallen the ancestors during times of abundance. The air is thick with incense as the ritual unfolds, and Adaora, wearing the mysterious amulet, becomes the focal point of the ceremony. As the chief priest performs the cleansing ritual, the atmosphere seems to shift. The village is held in a suspended moment, waiting for the outcome of this desperate attempt to restore harmony. Gradually, a sense of calm permeates the air, and a collective sigh of relief echoes through the village as the malevolent forces that plagued them relent. The once prosperous community is saved from the brink of chaos, and the village begins its journey towards healing. In the aftermath, the medicine woman, Ngozi, approaches Adaora, remorse evident in her eyes. She extends an apology for her hasty judgment and misguided actions during the tumultuous events. However, Adaora, bearing the weight of the ordeal, finds it hard to forgive. The leader of the mob had revealed to her that it was Ngozi who had pointed them in her direction. The village, having weathered a storm of its own making, stands on the precipice of renewal, learning valuable lessons about the delicate balance between prosperity and reverence for the ancestral spirits.